who's got more left? Like, who do you see playing longer, Rodgers or Russell Wilson? Like, to me, I think Russ plays longer if he gets the opportunity. And Rodgers has been open about the fact that, hey, listen, maybe last year would have been his final year. He decided he wanted to come back, but in all likelihood, this year looks like it might be his final year, depending on how the season goes. Russ feels like he wants to play longer, and he's
36 too.
Yeah, and
there's 5 years of difference.
And to what you were saying, also, like, how many guys leave on bad terms 3 straight times, and then it's like, don't worry about it, give him another shot. Like, there is, at some point, it's not, well, it was Seattle, or, well, it was Denver, or, well, it was Pittsburgh. There's got to be a feeling around the league that Russell Wilson's just a pain in the ass. Like, there's got to be, because there's no other explanation as to why he's sitting around waiting to see whether or not Rodgers wants to play again, who it's for, and I'll take whatever's left.
The being a pain in the ass part is when you don't know you're a pain in the ass.
That's when it's self-awareness.
That's when it's the worst. I would assume. I've never met Russell Wilson, so I don't want to judge him. He just comes across as the type of dude that doesn't know that he rubs you the wrong way, because in his mind he's like really a good dude.
He seems like a nice guy.
I've probably said this a good dude times. Yeah, and I'll say it again. For the times I've been around him, I think what happens, and there's people who do this and they're like this. Tim Tebow was like this.
Tebow?
Where, I think that probably is more the pronunciation. They
is it really?
Like the Tebow. I don't know. But
I don't give a damn. Tebow. I thought it was funny the way you said it. So go ahead. Let's stay with Tebow.
Yes, we refer to him in that, Tim Tebow.
Tebow.
He was one of those people, too, that I think, probably lacked a little bit of an understanding of, some of the way he tried to play quarterback, the way he tried to be a teammate. It rubs some guys the wrong way. Now, the reality is some guys don't care because they are who they are, and they're genuine in that. I think Russell is similar in that sense, where there's people who watch him operate or watch him around him. They're like, man, this feels fake, or he can't be like this all the time. It's like, yeah, he is. I mean, there's people, and this is what I've learned, like the older I've gotten, is there's just people in life who are characters, man. I mean, like, for example, we have on Pete Prisco. He's a character. Like people think that he comes on our radio show on Tuesdays and how he acts is like a shtick or for radio or something. That is how he is. It doesn't matter if I was in studio with him and we walk right outside. He'll be giving it to the Italian restaurant that he ate the night before and why it was overpriced, that it shouldn't have been this much, and what they did wrong with whatever it was, or he hated the cannolis at the end. It's like that's just who he is. He's a character. There are plenty of guys that have been. Tim Brando is one of the funniest human beings I've ever been around, and he is who he is. Like Timmy B is a good dude. He's got a warm heart, and people be like, "Man, is that guy?" Like, yeah, like Timmy B. He's just a character. And so I've found that out more in life, where I think there's some people who just feel convicted in who they are. In some cases, like who's God's called them to be, or who they are as a leader or player. And they don't want to change that. Like, they're like, this is who I am. And maybe they can't change that, or they don't want to. But I would say the thing you brought up, LaVar, and when we talk about like rubbing people the wrong way, I think it's just more of a, like, people don't feel like it's genuine. I think that's more of the...
Maybe that's what it is.
That's more the sentiment that I think players, felt like maybe a little bit in Seattle during the, short stint I was there, or even whether it was with Tebow or whoever else. Like, you get a sense of like, oh, they don't feel like that's really who they are. Now, I would argue that some of the people I've been around, like whether it's Tim or whether it's Russell, like, yeah, they are. Like, that's how they are. That's just who they are. And it's hard for other people to accept it because they don't live their lives the same way. So to your point, like, I think that's where the conflict comes, is like, maybe they don't always adhere to all the social norms. Maybe they don't always, do all the same things off the field, or do all the same things in the building, however they operate. And it rubs guys the wrong way. So, like, my thing is, like, I don't really care. In the end of the day, everyone's pushing together to go try to win and be successful. But it is interesting now that from Seattle to Denver to obviously this past year in Pittsburgh, it's like for some reason there's something that's happening that is causing him not to be a guy who's won a Super Bowl, been to 2, has played at a really high level, and even the past couple of years gave a lift to Pittsburgh, didn't play that bad in Denver. Like, you go back and look at it, and you're like, man, it's kind of interesting how it's rubbed some people the wrong way for some reason. And again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I also haven't been around him in a long time. So,
were you around him when he was married?
Yes. I mean, he came to my wedding. Like, we were, I remember talking to him about when things were, he was going to get a divorce. Like, it's.
Oh, no, the second marriage.
No, not,
Okay,
and that's
see.
the thing is like, well,
Yeah. That
not at that point.
I mean, that could have changed all of us. I'm not going to sit there and tell him he's wrong for feeling the way he feels in life right
Russ,
now.
Exonerated on all charges.
I'm just saying, I ain't going to hold him accountable
Not
if he feels
guilty.
If I got her hyping me up every morning, I might come across a tad. I might come across a tad bit confident and abrasive to a lot of people. My goodies, my goodies, my goodies, my goodies.
I mean,
and she's willing to do drills at the White House, bruh. She took her heels off and she let her man hand the ball off to him, and she went through those tackle dummies. And I'm just saying, I would be hyped up too. I would be pumped up too. That's all I'm going to say. And you know what? And I don't care if you don't like me as long as my family does.
I mean,
You ain't going to pay me enough to not feel the way I feel today. Today I woke up, it was a sunny day out. Even though the sun wasn't up yet.
Do you think there's some jealousy there? Is that what it is then?
Yeah, you just never know, man.
Yeah.
You could be,
People
the
are
guy
jealous
that
of
had
his
it all.
goodies, huh?
I mean, bruh, guys that seemingly have it all and have a certain type of way about
that's a
them,
thing.
then they come across like Russ could come across, in my estimation, maybe as maybe a Bible thumper. Guys in the locker room aren't really keen on Bible thumpers at all. Like, you're either all in with the Bible thumpers or you're like, it's like, like, dang, you got to avoid certain type of personalities in the locker room, man. He seems to be like, he thumps the Bible and at the same time got a badass wife. Like, let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
So if you're telling a dude, don't drink, don't smoke, don't use drugs, like, live right, live for the Lord, go to church, get your daily, prayer in, your stuff like that. And I mean, some people might be looking at him like, hey, bro, that's a little too much, man. Back up off me. The coaches included. Coaches be at work because they don't want to be at home. I've seen some of the people that these coaches have drug out to them at these dinners.
Say it again.
They're at work because they don't want to be at home.
Say it again.
They're at work because they don't want to be at home, and then you see what they done brought to one of these awards banquets, and then you be like, that was your choice. Y'all chose one another. Don't be getting mad at cats that walk up in there and you like, God dang. Like, don't get mad at them. Because I can guarantee you, I've seen Sierra in person. I can guarantee you.
I'm not familiar. Let me.
When Russell Wilson walks into the room, cats, you know what the first thing the big time cats are doing, the guys that are all pros and future Hall of Famers, you know what they're sitting there thinking?
Sitting down.
Why she ain't with me? Why she with him? You know what the rest of them are thinking? How'd he do that? You know what Russ is thinking? She's with me.
That's really what it is.
I mean, I would not be surprised if that plays a part, if it doesn't play a part in all of it. I'm just saying. Good for you, Russ. You keep doing you. Yeah, you damn right. You keep being you, Russ. And you take care of your chicken. You dig what I'm saying? Take care of your chickens, player.